Hello folks, I'd like to give you some information about the way I teach as of 2018. So it helps you decide whether I'm the right person for you, so don't get stuck with someone that isn't right. I think I'm going to title this Meeting the Challenge of Teaching Singing in the New Age. I've been at the BRIT School for 27 years. I've always been a working, gigging musician. Well, I say always been in music. You could look at my details about that kind of thing and where I studied and is on antonbrown.com. Incidentally, I should say I don't teach classical opera or musical theatre. They're quite confined and specialist, it seems to me. However, I do teach those singers who want to experience pop music and pop singing. By pop, it sounds lightweight when you say pop, but if you say popular music singing, what am I going to say? So I'm talking about blues, soul, pop, country, screamo, maybe not, but generally pop music. So if you're into that and you're a musical theatre or an opera singer and you want to explore that, then fine, that's great. But if you're into your opera, your classical, your musical theatre, and that's your main thing, I don't teach that. I don't have the background for that. In this new age, it seems to me that yes, changes take place. The traditional techniques, traditional methods, models can quickly become, I wouldn't say obsolete, but not so important. So there are a few things I think that are important, and that's that we as teachers keep up with what's going on. I think it's important that we as teachers continue to gig, to experience what you're going to experience, forgetting your lyrics, forgetting this or finding ways of this. It's all changing, the new equipment. If we as teachers don't gig anymore, you have to ask why not. Could be that you just get too old, doesn't mean you haven't got anything to offer. But maybe you lose interest, maybe some people, maybe there's not enough money in it. I don't have a method of teaching, really. It's more a manner of teaching. The nearest it comes to a method is on my website, is the Sing thing, and there are 2 what used to be CDs, they're now there free to download, and the Sing thing 1, I've done some videos of me explaining all the exercises. Myself and many other people have loads of wonderful free stuff. Make use of it, but this is where it comes to what I'm hoping to work with, is that you need to have a certain understanding as to what things mean. Because with the increase of information, wonderful as it is for all sorts of things in human interest, fantastic, there's an increase in misinformation as well. Sometimes deliberate, sometimes just people don't know what they're talking about, ignorance. So can it be the advantage to you that it might be, let me put that again, if you can't discern the good from the bad from the ugly, then you're simply overwhelmed with stuff, going up the wrong path here, practicing the wrong thing there. If you've got some fundamental skills, you can discern, and then the pot is very, very rich, because you just take the goodies and the rest you just leave. Let me give you an example of the kinds of things, simple things. Loads of people do humming exercises. I've scarcely heard anyone describe it. So what are you to do? Do the humming exercise? Did I do it well? What if I do it here? Or here? Which? If you don't know, maybe there's no point in even doing it, because you don't know what you're doing. And you might be doing the wrong thing, and then you've got to undo it. So let me give you an idea just with that. Traditionally then, we'd be talking about having this, the humming accentuates the feeling of vibration. Here at the front, so you can place it I could put it back. I have it at the front. Then it gives me that kind of a projection. If I put it back there, it gives me a slightly unusual sound, which might be fine. I love pop singing, or the pop arena, which includes jazz, soul, and because it's so free. You can do what you like. But within that freedom, it's like, what do I do then? Also notice with the humming then that there's no point being good at humming. What use is that? Most of these exercises then go to a vowel, but very few seem to explain it. But that's what's important then, is that once you've found that with the help of humming, that forward placement, is that can you maintain it on the vowel? Otherwise it's totally useless. Well, you'll be a very good hummer, very resonant hummer, but well, you're no good at singing, because most of singing is vowels and consonants, only a few of which are nasal ones. Give you another little example. So you're practicing your humming, but you're thinking, you're scared, what I sound nasal? Well, there's a difference between nasality and nasal resonance. Here's extreme nasal resonance, as best I can make it. So I'm going to open to an R vowel and keep that placement if I can. I didn't let it drop back, because when the tongue drops to the mouth, it can drop back. So you get used to that feeling, yes? You can feel it's at the front there. Is that nasal? Let me show you the difference. If I open and close my nose with my fingers and thumb, finger and thumb, and it makes no difference, it means air isn't travelling through my nose, so it's not nasal. If I make it slightly nasal, you'll hear that when I open and close my nostrils, it'll change the sound. Don't know if you heard that. So these are simple things. There are loads of simple things like that. You only have to have an understanding and a feeling for it, and then the world is your ostrich. Can you say, well, I'm knowing? Wonderful. So that's part of how I like to work. Let me list, if I may, some topics which I had here for a workshop I'm doing in Le Mans, in Bordeaux, France. It's all to do with how I like to work. So here's one of them. Here's a list. How the voice works and how to approach improvement. Mapping, managing and extending your range. Breathing and too little or too much breath. Singing as an extension of speaking. Singing as an extension of speaking. Singing as an extension of speaking. Was I singing there or speaking? Singing as an extension of speaking. Was I singing there or speaking? Singing as an extension of speaking. You might say there, more singing. Not very different. That's the pop thing. If I were to be an opera singer, completely different thing. Musical theatre has its own little things. Classical has its own things. But the pop, it's much closer to speaking. Singing as an extension of speaking. What do you need to practice, and how might you proceed? No point practicing things that aren't any use. So I hope we work together and figure out, practice this. Working with the intelligence which is your body. Magnificent intelligence, no? Went from one cell to 100 trillion, all doing different things. And you grow. How does that work? Bones, fat. Magnificent. Work with that then, I say. Does one imagine this doesn't know how to sing or do what you're asking? If it can do that? So I like to work with it. You've got to stretch a bit, explore a bit, and but underneath, mighty intelligence, work with it. Working with a song. What's the right key? I've been changing mine recently. Not because I'm getting too old, but because I thought, why is I doing it in that key? The technology we have now helps with all that. From cheating, if you like, on the piano, just electric pianos, you can just move it very easily. You don't have to refinger everything. All the chords that we get online, you can just. I've done all sorts of videos. I'll mention them at the end. Most of it's there for you to have a little look if you're interested. Using speech rhythms in a song. Using speech rhythms in a song. Using speech rhythms in a song. Speech rhythms. Using speech rhythms in a song. So I like to work on that. Making a song rewarding. It's good if it's rewarding, isn't it? You want to enjoy it, not punishment. The magic of the music. Chords, feel, accompaniment. Sometimes I feel, perhaps more so with musical theatre and opera and classical things, that almost the singing is separate from the music. It's kind of on top of it. Like you've got the music and then there's the singing. Personally, I like the singing to be one with the music. I like to be able to hear it, so if it's jazzy kind of things or whatever, then the voice is typically way up front, you hear everything. But it's still with the music. That's what I like anyway. The magic of the music. The magic of the microphone. Nearly every singer you've heard, unless acoustically in a room, even this, is going through a microphone. Nearly everything at television has been on a microphone. YouTube's been on a microphone. Most gigs, a microphone. In a church, wonderful acoustic voices, beautiful. But most of us scarcely hear the singing acoustically. It's through a microphone. So, makes sense, no? To have some idea about this thing and how to use it. Website on that I've done as well, so put that link or mention it later. The purpose of performing. Why are you doing it? Good to know, and you can steer what you're practicing and where you're going. Maybe it's just fun. That's fine. I like fun. Building a gig set list. Practicalities I like, may not be of interest to you. We can work on that though, because I've got about 200 gigs a year. I've maintained that for quite some time. I like to be out there doing it. I'm using new technology now to put a lot of time into updating everything to tablets and not this kind of screen tablets. So we want to help with that. Yep. Ad-libs and improvisation. I have to admit to you, I'm kind of into jazz. Not old school tinky tinky, but jazz and the music, improvisation, the chords, they're so rich. The rhythms, the freedom that jazz has and the improvisation. I always like that with Richie Blackmore's Into Deep Purple. Lots of that. I like the improvisation and using the voice to be free musically, not stilted. Educated musically, not ignorant and just sit there and rote, sing what I'm supposed to sing. That's what I like. Putting it all together. Practical, technical, performance stuff. Yeah, do that. If you're going to be a performer, the gear that's around, how you present yourself, all those practicalities I like to work with as well. If you can bear it, I've got another list. What do I talk about? 21st century singing and the new age. It's changed since last century. Not half. The way things spread, what's available to us, it's completely different. You can't use historical stuff, it seems to me, anymore. It's just dropping off the back. So what have I got here? Another list. Loads of online teaching. But can you discern? Loads of downloadable exercises and practice tracks. But do you know how to use them? Innumerable backing tracks and software that attempts to remove the vocal so you can use a backing track. What? I wouldn't have thought of that 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. Does it well on some things, not so well on others, but at least to have that you can practice with. Fantastic. With the original backing track-ish. And a hint of the person in there still. Chord charts, lyrics. Imagine how we used to get hold of them. It's difficult to get hold of chord charts. We used to do a lot of it by ear on the piano and sit and listen. Now that, I'm not knocking that because that's great. It really inexpensive compared to what it used to be. Good quality microphones and PA. I'm going to say almost cheap. Inexpensive. I know it costs you money still, but inexpensive recording equipment. You've got it on your phone. There was something else in amongst all my sheets of paper. So that's the way earlier what I like to teach. I also like I like to make music in the room. I've been at it a long time and I can play various instruments well enough, I hope, to be a help, not a hindrance. A little bit more than a help. So I like, once we've done all that, done the exercises and you've got an idea, I think that come on, let's do the final item, the final article. Give me a song, we'll find it on Ultimate Guitar where all the tabs are, or I'll find it in my iReal, and I can play well enough for you to have something musical to sing to, and I can nudge you musically, get it a bit louder maybe, pause a bit where I think. Copying is a most important tool. It's how we learn nearly everything. How we do learn to speak. Victor Wooten, virtuoso bass player, said that he was in a musical family. He said when he learned to speak, they didn't separate him and put him with other people who couldn't speak or a similar sort of level. He was with master speakers, the adults, and he'd listen and he'd copy, and they might correct a bit. They wouldn't say if he's going gaga goo goo or something, they wouldn't say that's wrong. It was accepted. He'd grow, and he said he learnt music that way. So for pop music, I'm thinking copying is a master tool. If I can do it, why demands a teacher to keep on the game, keep practicing, keep gigging, keep learning new stuff no matter how many years go by, so that with a student in the room you can do stuff and the student can copy. Because what is it? Exercises are fine. You don't want to get good at doing exercises and scales and techniques. You want to be able to, the way you speak. I put my voice up there a bit. So you might do that. You automatically know how to do stuff like that when you learn that way. I think it's a wonderful thing. And then we've got a few scales and pointers for specific things if we need them. Okay, stuff that I self have put online. thesingthing.com. Exercises there. Breathing. I was meticulous. I'm not perfect, by a long shot, but I was meticulous with it. It's quite old now, but the information's there. I look at it, I'm a bit embarrassed, think, oh dear. But the information is there, and I took my time. I'm not going to do it again. So if you want to find out about breathing, abdominal breathing, hopefully, I'm not saying you have to do it, but it makes it very, very clear. So when you see someone and the description of it, and you can verify for yourself. So when you look at things online and someone's saying something that just doesn't seem, but you can take the exercises and do something slightly different with them. The Magic of the Microphone is my latest site. I've got some of the world's best microphones. I've been going through them. There's one there on microphone technique. It's all there. It's fine for you. I've done a video called 21st Century Singing Practice. So how to make your singing practice enjoyable and rewarding. And even if you live in a flat, I've got a device which I do, which cuts down the sound so you can crack on with the stuff that you want at the top of your range or wherever. And you can be very open and loud and not feel that it's the worst thing in the world to have to be practicing and feeling that it's no good. That's there. I'll put these links on the video below, the description thing down there. And I think that's about it. So I look forward to maybe working with you.